bumi busuma makapa ntobachila mano mambulwa kusambilishanya kusuma nemikalile ya bumila wama ulukwalwa nsansa inonisaka ya bumi inazambilishe fingi pamikalile yenu eluna pa bumi ubusuma.
Fishifi. Ntanda iwe.
Mkwai? Baka fwembe. Mlenchita.
Ushofwa kukwitemi kuyinga kanji.
Nabanjelele ko balume bandi ndeipika.
Ngefi.
Muti wa family planning.
Finshi ule chitomu?
Baka fwembe.
Ntanda. Ushezo taule nuino muti wa family planning chinshi.
Balume bandi ndanwa.
Iwe, ngolanwa, efyofuliyo kuno yumuti, ngatamudi munganda, ngakale wapo.
Shileke ni ndondolole.
Nishi wala ndolola, nishi. Uyu muti wa family planning, kale tuwapo kakuchipatala. Nomba iwe leso ngafya munganda.
Teifyo baka fwimbi.
Nomba ni finshi. Ulefwa wimiti okwa ulo kwenekela tefyo.
Balume bandi, ngufweni ndandeko.
Tanda, walipwana ukuishibatine pakati apefintu na fishupa. Elio wimite, aikona.
Balume bandi. Lulianje kumalilo. Nalilabira okusenda oyo muti wa family planning. Echalengera ati ninwo tubulungoto.
Kuba careless uko kuine Ntanda. Careless.
Ifyo ninji shiba balume bandi. Lelo temufulo nalabikirwa ekofisi.
Nomba umfwa kuno. Umfuikishe. Nga waimita pano panganda uishibyo kwakwe.
Baka fwimbi. Chafika noko.
Nindanda na chipwa.
Pini muka kuno baby girl tumone. Ala wapopoka. Ale mishishisha wa manane wa luka. Na umfane chirumba.
Imwe iyo. Muni wakuleka fyanti chichi.
Mwane no kumpwikisishe. Finally we are done. Ando pompolo kamukashana piamo. Tumone ko bakastoma bambi.
Na totera nti chichi. Thank you.
Chisuma. Bane, aleni, tulaseni mwe vishirikiti kabili. Mulefu wakuya?
Yeah, Auntie Chichi.
Na totela, wenda winoi.
Thank you.
Mukabwere na kabili. Okay. Ntanda, isa wikari hapa. Nkuwa mie mishishobe na iwa mwaneke bwino. Tanda.
Auntie Chichi, mulelanda.
Ushoni pano mwaiche wandi.
Ananimfika hapa tali Auntie Chichi.
Isa hapa wikari kaidi. Pilibuka kuno. Ero nala kuluka bwino. Nishi ishupile kuba lume bobye.
Nachilaka na vyena pedi ya shiri ya family planning.
Ola. Pamulandu wanshi.
Ndala bukuno Auntie Chichi. Nomba nabazanda.
Kui.
Nabazanda balume bandi mule mfuwa kofi. Ukulanda ati nganaye mitanshaka peikare panganda. Lana ibindaza mule mfuwa kofi.
Wena iwe. Ifyo fila chitika mwaiche wandi. Kwaba no kulaba.
Ala mwandini.
Sodi.
Auntie Chichi mwandonze mishishi.
Andu mwandi tuwekere kuliashi. Na ine nalera bokuno family planning. Iya kuno chira bushiku panshiteitadi.
Mulelanda.
Echarengira tintampi okubomfya yakwimika obufya shipanshiteitadi.
Panshiteitadi?
Ifya apala emyaka 3 so nokuchirapo.
Bushe eina umfwati ilesa lo bufyashi wakano kwato omwana nakabiri.
We bufi. Epo wafwaire okukwata omwana kuya kuchipatala bafumia. Ero yaba pabiri. Iya apa kuboko ngani rupu yena nga wabika. Nishi wabikira limu.
Amwandini nanti teacher I think ifya kubikira limu kutifya bomba. Nina kwa techilafi.
Sana pandu ine na abike ya miaka 5. Nisha kwato wafya uli bonse uwakulaba.
Mulelanda Auntie Chichi?
Inenda yokuli konse ukwabula okusakama n'okuya kuchipatala mukupuka family planning pantu nalibikira limu.
Katuishi?
Uilati katuishi. Utontonka nyepo. Pilibuka nomba tumone. I am almost done.
Pushani wangu mwe.
kabiri ngana isomo ndesa mitimbule mwefana mwapangwa shani kanshi mwandaba
awo abana bobe ninchito mwamba tabele kusukulu lero
bali batamfeta turati tulipire
okay.
Iwe ili ashiri abalume bo batishani
muntu wande ayikakana Lena nakwebele bali fyabazanda fyabasheta shinonshiko
ero pantu waripu sapo kunwa family planning iwe kuti waseka mwe
mwamba inenisa kama nati nala imita iwoleseka wamona bwefya kuseka
lolo kaze wefyanshi bulipoki
awe boy tatula ipeka nyoko kwata abana alote yapo peka tulefwaya ukutarusha abana noto kwata mchipichi
awe kaze ina abana bandi nshitalusha bakonkana fye abo bere kulira pamu
awe narimona nomba walichira mukaze nanguta pasoso walichira mu
omfwa ukwimito kwa bulo kuyenekera takwakwato obwafyo buli bonsera ngo panono abana liparo
shilekana ipalo diena liparo nadishiba lelo tufuira twaipekanya alo tatolaleta abana pacharo notsukula fyala fye mwasa mkuchusha abana bakaele
andweni kanshitwala muno fye mwala achita
katuishi dimbi mbofya ilia family planning ya pamyaka itali
ndanda busholera ndapali fira babika pakuboko na malupu
banti chichi balandira ati ile ya pakuboko na lupu ila bomba bwino nayo
mukesa dishapo fyo bufyashi mwe nakamwana kamo
awe na iwe that's fitch tikefyo mwamba umfwa
awe mayo ineteti epo fye na bana 6 shile kabila poku fibomfya fi family planning ero teti
boy abana 6 uchirire foku fyalira po
nomba bali kanya abane fyupo kupwa ekonka yankafwayo kufyala oro nishinalibika rupia ya 10 years awe mayo nshilefwayo kuisanga muzindangwa ini awe
iwe na iwe umfa mwamba bantu chichi balandire ati nganafwayo kufyala kuyafyo kuchipatala bayifunya ni removable so pala wafwayo kufala kuyafyo bayifunya chapa wafyala inavuma
awe fyo boy kabiye
awe nemboy nala kuchipatala mkubika family planning ida ina ya pamyaka itadi ndio wachila fyo mchipi tati nkwanisha
kabiye
Mary bwadya iwelenganji pokeleleni abantu bengiri abo ebo mupwishishe okuluka emishishire keni bafume mwingire bambi
anti chichi
ntanda mwaiche wande welcome to Chichi's hair salon
natotela efyo chiva muno efi
short ila lubana muno kabiri ni weekend so twalaluka emishishishi lelo
nshilelo kanti chichi njishire mkumishimikila
imwe abantu balesela muno lete eri ashintanda
alanti chichi mwali bomba pakumpanda mano yako papadi family planning miniko bufyashi panshite itati
wali yabikisha mwaiche wande
nadia bikira limoirea ikale myaka 3 apa takudi ukusakamana ati nalala bokunwa nangu ati ndeya mkuchipatala mkupokawe takudi
apa kulage bafye kuya kumbabala nangu ukuli konso kwa bulo kusakamana
awo mwali bomba
kwa benshila eshingisha kubomfya pakuyimika obufyashi eshinshila kuti shamwafwa ukutalukanya abana panshila shabako pabo okubomfya enshila iya kubomfya munshite ipi ero kabiri ne ya kubomfya panshita ntali nga mulefu okutampa okubomfya family planning kabyenu kuchipatala mpepi neko mubelele pakumipanda kwa mano panshila ingami wa mina
kusuma nemikalile ya bumila wama ulukwalwa sansa inonisaka ya bumi inazambilishe fingi pamikalile yenu eluna pabumi ubusuma
abamileterako obubwangalo kabungwe ka Population Media Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it. It's a Thursday. It's the 1st of February 2024. And yes, we are happy to be here. And yes, my name is Timothy Kundoti. Welcome, Waiseni Kunsakayawumi. Okay. And yes, to help discuss today's topic, I have Madam Carol Pondamadi, who is sister in charge, SOS Clinic. Mashukeni, Mrishani, Mutozchwani. How are you?
Thank you. Mashukeni,
okay. And on the other side, I have Madam Matilda Kasanda, who is Community Health Focal Point Person. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and good morning to our listeners.
Good to have you again.
Thank you indeed.
Okay, so today we're talking family planning, okay, and there's a lot of myths and misconceptions out there and so on. There are these theories about family planning in our communities. So we'll try to talk about this and break it down. And you can participate on this show by calling 0761 54 1414. That's 0761 541414. So put turaingira na sana program. First of all, we have to define what we're talking about. What is family planning, and also what are contraceptives in general?
Okay, thank you very much. Family planning. For family planning, is a voluntary decision that is made either by a couple, an individual, or an adolescent on how many children they want to have and the spacing also. So it's something that is supposed to be decided by a couple and an individual. But nowadays we only see women coming for family planning. So family planning is also for the men. They have to come with their wives as a couple to decide on how many children that they want to have and the space interval to have those children.
Okay. I'm also glad that you mentioned even in an individual, even though it's family planning, even an individual can get themselves involved in that.
Yes.
Okay, so what are the different contraceptives available for use? I don't know if we'll touch on the men as well.
We will.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. So there are quite many types of contraceptives which are available. Maybe just to briefly define what a contraceptive is. Basically, these actually, they are devices. They can be devices, they can be natural methods, they can be chemicals, they can be drugs, and they can be surgical procedures which are performed to prevent a woman from getting pregnancies. So having said that, now there are different types of contraceptives which are available. We do have short-term, what we call short-term methods. We do have long-term methods. We also have permanent methods. So under all these categories, we find that there are different ones. For example, under short-term, we talk of the pills, those people who take pills, the injectables, the condoms, all those are actually under short-term methods. And then when we talk about the long-term methods, or the commonly known as the like method, this is where we have commonly known as the jadeos, and also the issues of the loop, whereby I'm sure you hear people talking about the Farambike loop. So all those actually are long-term methods. And then when we talk of the permanent one, this is where we have now the surgical procedures being performed for which can be performed to a woman or to a man. And in a man it is called vasectomy, and in a woman it is called actually
tubal ligation.
Yeah, thank you.
Are you going to explain? How briefly those procedures are done, especially for the men? I'm sure some are curious.
Yeah.
Okay. For the surgical procedures, for the females, we have the tubal ligation. Yes. For females, we have the fallopian tubes where the egg passes. So for this surgical intervention, the tubes are cut so that the egg won't be able to pass through the tubes and be fertilized. So for the males, the procedure is called the vasectomy, where they will cut the tube that carries the sperm. Yes, so the sperm won't be able to pass. So for males, the procedure, most of the males, they don't even go for these procedures, but the procedure is readily available for the males. We need males also to come on board to support our women to practice family planning. Okay. Yes.
I know somebody that mentioned that they'll just go for that now.
Really?
But I'm sure we'll talk about that off the radio. And yeah, but anyway, so I'm sure you've already answered this one. If it's only women that can use contraceptives, I know you've mentioned men as well. But who is eligible for LARC, and where is it obtained? Okay, these are long-acting reversible contraceptives.
Well, maybe to answer that question, I can say that all women who are in the childbearing age are eligible, starting from 16 years. I know that most parents actually, they don't feel comfortable when you talk about family planning, maybe in adolescence, but we can say everyone from the in the age of reproductive health from 16 years and above, they are all eligible. So in that category, everyone is eligible.
Okay.
Just in addition, like she's mentioned, that everyone is eligible to have the long-term methods. Also, the women that are satisfied with their parity, those that feel that they've had a number of children that they wanted, those can also practice LAC methods. They can have their LAC methods because they don't want a surgical intervention. So those also can do the LAC methods.
Let's talk about the situation on the ground in the community. I know you've mentioned parents do not usually want to hear about this, hearing that their 17-year-old has been found with pills in the bedroom, which are family planning pills. What are you doing with these pills? How can this issue be addressed to the community? What is being done to make sure that this information reaches the parents and they understand it in a way that it will help their adolescents?
Okay, to answer that one, we say that every adolescent or every woman has got a right to family planning. So equally, these adolescents, they are the right to practice family planning. So information is being given out to those parents. Long gone are the days when parents used to say that practice family planning. But we find that our adolescents, our children, they've indulged in sexual activity at an early age as 12 years old. We see these children accessing our facilities, coming to get condoms. So we cannot run away from the fact that these children are practicing sex. So it's just in order for them to access the reproductive health services in the facilities that are providing.
Okay. Now, what are the different long-acting reversible contraceptives, in short, LAC?
Okay. We have the long-acting and reversible contraceptives that we have Jadel, the one that we insert on the arm.
Okay.
Yes, and we also have Implanon. It is also inserted on the arm. Also, we have the loop, which Matilda mentioned earlier on. So we have the loop, the Jadel, and the Implanon as the long-acting reversible methods.
Okay. What's the minimum period of these?
For the Jadel, the maximum that they can have it is for 5 years. Then Implanon is for 3 years. Then for the loop, we have one which has a hormone which goes up to 10 years. And the one which has got copper T, it goes up to 12 years. Okay.
And kindly explain the benefits of these long-acting reversible contraceptives. What are the benefits of having these?
Okay, one of the benefits of these long-acting contraceptives is that they're very highly effective. When you say they're highly effective, they're able to prevent a pregnancy about 99%. So a woman who is on such a method will be assured that she won't fall pregnant. So they are very highly effective.
Oh, okay.
And the other benefit is that immediately after we remove the implant, a woman will return to fertility immediately. Meaning, the following month, this woman will be able to conceive. Yes, so that is one of the benefits. Then it also allows a woman to have privacy and freedom over her health, because she has this Jadel inserted. She has control over her health. Yes, so those are some of the benefits.
Madam Matilda, would you like to add to that?
Well, maybe I can talk about maybe what these long terms don't do. Actually, as long as we've had those benefits, alongside that women maybe would want to get those, there are also issues of STI and HIV transmission. So really, even as we talk on the benefits, a woman should be able to cover themselves also with other protective methods so that they do not get STIs, because these long-term methods alone, when practiced, especially among adolescents, they should know that they're not going to be protected from getting HIV or from getting STIs. So it's very, very, very important. If it's being practiced maybe by adolescents, they should be able to also to use other protective measures which are going to protect them from getting STIs or HIV.
Okay. Now, each time we talk about contraceptives on air and so on, there's always issues of side effects. No in Ndalwala, no in Efi, and so no, not even fashion. Let's talk about the side effects. What are the common side effects that come through with contraceptives, especially the long-acting reversible contraceptives like the ones you've mentioned?
Okay, talking about side effect, every drug has got a side effect. So LAC methods are not exempted. The most common side effects that the clients that are on long-term methods experience are a heavy bleeding, which can be prolonged. And usually we tell them that when you have a heavy bleeding, which is prolonged more than your days that you cover, they need to come to our facilities. Yes, and others will experience no bleeding at all. They won't be having their monthly menses. For some, it will be a benefit. It's not all women who love monthly periods. Yeah. So for others, they will come back to the facility saying, "My sister, opo mwambikire ineja deo share period." Yeah. So not having menses is also a side effect. Then others will also spot. They'll just spot a bit in the morning, in the afternoon they are fine. The following day they are fine. The other day also they spot. So those are some of the side effects. And others will gain weight. Yeah. Others will lose. Yes. So those are some of the side effects.
Okay. In case you want to participate or on the show, the number is 0761 54 14 14, live and direct. Pansa Kayabumi, and we are talking contraceptives for today. Madam Matilda, any other side effects that you could add on these long-acting reversible contraceptives?
I think
you've heard in the community, maybe.
I think, of course, now when we talk of the side effects, these are actually they can be experienced differently by different women. It doesn't mean that all women will experience the same. They'll go through all these side effects which have been mentioned here. So women should do, actually, no wonder when they are given these methods, they are taught to come back to the facility so that they are asked how they are feeling, after they are experiencing any of them. So it doesn't mean that if you are, maybe you want to opt for like method, then you are going to experience all these. No. Some will experience them, others won't experience them. So we are different, we experience them differently. It's just the same the way we used to feel even with the other, maybe when you talk of maybe vaccination that we got maybe for COVID-19. Others used to experience side effects, but others never used to experience them. So it's the same even with these family planning methods.
Kinga ama myths ikwawa yale ati washta inankane nishitawaka fyaripo futhi nishwena danchipwa and so on.
Yeah. There are a lot of myths actually in the community, especially with vasectomy.
Okay.
Yeah, most men shun to do vasectomy because they feel like maybe they are going to, it's castration. They will no longer be, they'll be weak, they will not be able to enjoy, to have sexual pleasure. But that's just a myth actually. It's just a myth, it's not true. The thing is, when you do vasectomy, you will still be able to perform and be able to enjoy your sexual activity. So it's not true. And then also we heard of actually
so maybe before you move on, I'm sure some men want to find out. Is it different? What's the difference between castration and vasectomy? I know vasectomy is more like closing the pipe, as you mentioned.
Just cutting the...
Castration is cutting it.
No, vasectomy is just cutting the tube that carries the sperm from the testicles to the penis, so that there is no fertilization. Yes.
Okay.
So now castration is remove some parts.
Is vasectomy reversible, or it's permanent?
It's permanent.
It's permanent.
Yes, but I think when you read literature elsewhere in developed countries, they are able to do that, to reverse it. Yes, but for us, it's permanent here.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sure that's clear for those that are ready to do it. Okay. Yeah. How can the side effects be managed? I'm sure you mentioned the side effects. How can they be managed, and how can one limit the side effects of long-acting reversible contraceptives?
Okay. Considering the type, method, the side effects that I mentioned, some are manageable. Actually, most of them are manageable. like Matilda mentioned, to say that it's not every woman or client that will undergo all these side effects. So when we are giving them information on the method that they've chosen, we talk about the side effects so that just in case she experiences such, she'll be able to come back to the facility. So for spotting, whereby a client will just spot in the morning, even the afternoon she's fine, we reassure them to say that this is normal. Maybe after 2 or 3 months, it will be done. Then for those that are experiencing heavy bleeding, we usually give them a cycle of a pill to control the bleeding. Yes, so those side effects are manageable. But for those that you cannot even if you give them a cycle of the pill, the bleeding is not stopping, usually we opt to have it removed. So these side effects are manageable. We provide something for them to control the bleeding.
Some people would prefer traditional methods and so on. I am mushy, if I may put it that way. Don't know how best to explain it. What would be your word to them? Okay, how best can they deal with contraceptives and family planning? What are the side effects of going that way instead of going the clinical way?
Okay, we have the traditional methods, and there are a few that are still using the traditional methods. So we usually advise them to say that those traditional methods can fail them at one point. Yes, and they can have an intended pregnancy because the method did not work. There are a lot of women that are using, they will tell you, when they come for family planning, you tell them, what methods have you used? They'll tell you, others even use Cafino. Yes, so we tell them that those are not long lasting and they can fail them. They will have an intended pregnancy.
Okay. Let's get back to myths and misconceptions. I think I preempted that question. There are issues of, for example, risk of womb getting destroyed, causing infertility, which you mentioned. Also, the lack of, rather losing sexual desire, okay, that's women. Also, continuous monthly period, you mentioned that, and also stopping monthly period. But maybe you can mention destroying of the womb. Yeah.
Okay. The lack methods or contraceptives, they do not destroy the womb. So these contraceptives, not in any way will they destroy the womb. Like for the loop, we are talking about the loop. Yeah, the loop is just inserted there. It won't be able to destroy anything. So these contraceptives, they do not destroy anything in the womb. They just prevent pregnancy. There won't be any fertilization that will take place. Yeah. Okay.
Ichilele ngati ama myth na misconceptions ayakonka nyepom community. What do you think is causing that? And how can it be addressed?
Yeah, I think when you look at myths and misconceptions, basically they are usually caused by maybe people who are influential in society, those who are against family planning, and also some religious groupings, those who actually don't believe in family planning. But all in all, what we have to understand is that the benefits, when you look at the benefits of family planning, what is it that women will benefit when they practice family planning? I'm sure a long time ago we used to actually see a lot of maybe unsafe abortions, whereby maybe a woman who is maybe a married woman would want to abort just because they have got a child, maybe they fail pregnancy without planning for it. So with the coming in of these long-term methods, actually women or maybe couples are now able to plan properly for their children, and there are no worries. They are able actually even to enjoy themselves, their sexual pleasure in home. So really family planning, there are more benefits actually than what people talk about to say no, it's not good. And actually I've heard some, especially men, whereby they refuse their wife to say mukashwandinga family planning takula for maybe akambo kushitobule, how will I know, especially if I'm not around? So let's look at the benefits. What is it that we want to achieve when we actually engage in these family planning methods? And also, when you look at the benefit as a family, there are benefits to both a man And also to a woman, a man will have more time actually even to take care of his family. You have more time to allocate resources to take children to school, and like whereby you allow your woman to be bearing children. Maybe every year you find that in a home you don't even have time maybe even to plan for other long-term maybe ventures that would want to undertake as a family. And also to a woman, you find that if a woman consistently every year you find that your body become weak, and at some point you can even die, because even the cervix or maybe the uterus will become weak, and as you continue getting those pregnancies, you find that you can even die. You find that there are most women who die in labors because of most of them is a result of having or multiple pregnancies. So it's very, very important that as communities as families, we support our women so that they engage in family planning methods.
Okay. So, but and then they're deciding at if I want contraceptives, how can they learn properly? Where can they learn from? Kukwata information nokupokama contraceptives. And do they come at a cost in Shinga? Kadora na kafio kastaso.
Thank you very much. All reproductive health services are free of charge. We don't charge any services. So bonse bana mayo bashtata bonse okomuli, you can be able to access any facility in Akito district so that you get the information. Mle isa kuvuma clinics yesu twamisambilisha pali family planning so that mwaishiba if your family planning my methods yabako nefe yabomba. So these are able to access our health centers so that we give them the information, and the onus is on us as health providers to give the correct information to these clients so that we reduce on the myths and misconceptions in the community.
Madam Matilda?
Yes, as my colleague has said, these services are provided in all our government facilities. They are for free. They are not chargeable. Of course, when they go maybe to other private facilities, they will pay something. But in our government facilities, they are for free, and they can come at any time.
Okay. Do you visit any clinic or a particular one near you? You get registered. What's the procedure like?
Yeah, they are.
And then so I'll move from Riverside to go to Ndek. That kind of a thing.
Services access because the facilities are within their communities. They are easily accessible. So visit any facility and actually adolescents, they refuse to go where practice family planning. So for others, they even prefer to go anywhere where they are comfortable. So everyone is free to go to any facility that they can access the service from.
And actually, nowadays we have our community-based distributors in the community whom we've trained so that we make these services available and as close as possible to where they are living, to their homes. So even in the community, we have our community-based volunteers, those who are able to provide family services to them without even necessarily them coming to our facilities.
Okay. So there are these meetings or something? Or how does this happen in the community?
In the community, we've trained, as I've said.
Door to door?
No, not door to door.
Okay.
They are CBVs. These are community-based volunteers who live in the community, and they are well known by the community members.
Also, white coat,
no.
They are just ordinary, residents in that community. They know them, so they even know their homes where they are offering this service. Yes, they've been identified by the community. They were trained, so they know that family planning.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. Anyway, as we wrap up the program today, your final words to whatever they doubt about contraceptives and how you can encourage them, and as we close the program.
Okay. So, please feel free to come to our facilities so that we give you the information on family planning, the benefits, side effects of these methods, and be able to access these services free of charge.
Madam Matilda?
Well, I want to...
before you close, I think we have a caller.
Okay.
Somebody has... we lost that one. Right. If you can call us back, it's 0761 54 14 14. We have a few minutes before we close, so do hurry with that call. Madam Matilda?
Yeah. So all I want to say is to encourage our men and also the adolescents. Sometimes with society feel that the only people.
Okay, let's get this call.
Okay.
Hello. Washington, go ahead. At where exactly? Where exactly? Okay. I was hoping you would mention where exactly. Let's get another call before that one. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, Machibuken. Hello? Hello? Okay. 0761 54 14 14. The paying of okay, we got callers. Hello? 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 Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe you can address the first caller.
Services reproductive health free of charge. You are free to go and see the in charge of that facility. You complain. Otherwise, all our services are free of charge. No one is supposed to charge for a service.
Yeah.
And where can they complain?
They can complain to the sister in charge for that facility to say, I've been charged for removal of Jadeo or Implanon.
All right. 0761 54 14 14. Your concerns, questions, queries about the topic, anything you'd like to add on, you can simply come through. The number is 0761 54 14 14. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Okay.
This is Collins. Calling within Gateway.
Okay, Mr. Collins, go ahead.
Yes, I just want to make a short contribution to this program.
Yes, please.
Yes, actually, I just want to tell those who are on that panel to say that do they know that they are also contributing to high level of these records we are having of HIV. I want them to answer that question. They are also contributing to high level of HIV because there is no way they are allowing children who are at the age of 16 to access those pills.
Okay.
This is the reason why we are calling it family planning. And those children who are at the age of 15 and 16, they are school-going children. They are not supposed to get those pills. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Okay, Mr. Collins says adolescents shouldn't access contraceptives. Before we get to that, hello?
Hello.
Okay. All right.
Wait, I didn't get that one.
He was saying there's continuous loss of blood. If in a situation where somebody continues to bleed, I think you will address that, but you can still mention it later on. Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where you're calling from.
This is Msonda calling from Kitwe.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to find out on those women that they use family planning. What could be the problem if they use it, then it doesn't work? And then the other question is, I want to know more about for male. Is it permanent if it's permanent, what if you want to start having again? Then you find that you can't have, like, if it's permanent.
Okay, I'm sure it's clear. Thank you. Okay, types for men. Okay, types of contraceptives for men. I'm sure you'll be able to explain that. Let's get one last caller, then we can get to the answers. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Ruth from Karush.
Madam Ruth from Kalulushi, go ahead.
I've heard kuno bana mayo ati bali amkufunye jateo babi batishiteni jiki which is money nga balomba kuba lumet 50 kwacha bali abashite jiki.
Okay.
Which means bala charging.
Okay.
And then mbinachafu kuipishati umna mayo ngali shita BPL ile kula bokwisa mkukwata na kambia wana taika kukafiria vachilai bati balakaka. It's permanent, it's forever. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's get to answer those questions before we move on.
Okay, we'll start with Fia Kulipira. Yeah, we've received calls concerning the same. Like I alluded to say that these services are free of charge. But then you find that there are a few members of the facility that are doing that. It's an offense. They're not supposed to do that. That's why I mentioned earlier to say that if these women, they go to the facility and they are told from the family planning room to say, you're supposed to bring Jiki or you are going to pay 50 kwacha, they should go and see the in-charge. For that facility, there's always an in-charge who's running the affairs of that clinic. Let it be known to the in-charge. Let them bring it to the attention of the in-charge so that she knows that the members of staff at that facility are charging clients for services that are supposed to be free of charge.
Okay.
So let it be brought to the attention of the sister in charge so that she knows and should take a step.
Just to be clear, so you're not supposed to come with these things, VIX, JIC, and so on?
No.
They are already there, or there's other things that are being used?
They're supposed to be there at the facility.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on. I think I heard the gentleman that said the permanent, or in case you have your vasectomy and then you want to have children later on, is it non-reversible? Maybe you can kindly explain a little bit about the men's contraceptives. What are the methods that men can use?
The methods for the males, we have the vasectomy, which we mentioned to say that they have to cut the tube that carries the sperm. Then also there are condoms.
Which is not reversible.
It is not reversible. We said in our country it's not reversible, but elsewhere, developed countries, they are able to reverse that. Vasectomy, it will be a permanent method. So you have to sit with the partner, you decide whether you really want to go for that or not. Okay. Yes. Then the other method is the condoms, which the men rarely use.
Okay.
Yes.
Proven. Okay, so there's also the situation where another gentleman mentioned that there's you're contributing to the increase of HIV by this topic of giving contraceptives to people that are 15, 16 years old. Can this be explained or clarified?
I don't think we are increasing the numbers of HIV because we are allowing these adolescents to practice family planning. No. Like I mentioned earlier on, I'm coming from a facility where I have a school within the facility. And when these children come from the classroom, even at tea break, they'll access the services. They'll come for condoms. At lunch break, they come for condoms. So which is better? You prevent this child from getting an STI or HIV. You chase them away to say, "Tamasendama condoms." Which will be better? Asende condom, ambula HIV and STI, nangumupele condom. Usually these adolescents are using condoms. Yes, so I don't think the health system is contributing to the increase in the levels of HIV. No. Our children are sexually active. as early as 12 years.
So the misconception could be people not thinking condoms are contraceptives. They're thinking the pills are contraceptives.
Yeah, so a
and people are
condom
not
is a
using
contraceptive.
condoms.
So most of our adolescents are using the condoms.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I think overtrusting our children.
Okay.
Most of us parents, we actually do overtrust. We feel that our children are innocent. They don't know anything. And yet, with this social media, they say a lot of things. We give them phones, and they're able to go on internet, and they view a lot of things. And believe me, before you know it, you find that your child knows a lot more than you. Because nowadays, find that even children as old as 5 years, they're able to ask curious questions whereby you can even get surprised. So if at all there are these actually facilities which are aimed actually to protect our children from having unwanted pregnancies, so that they can finish school, then it's better they access them, so that our children can be protected from getting the HIV and unwanted pregnancies. Because believe me, if your child got pregnant as young as 12 years, it really devastates you as a mother or as a father. So we are not here to actually to inculcate bad culture in our children, but it's just the time that we are in. Children of nowadays, they are way ahead of us. Yes. And as far as parents, as much as we may feel our children are innocent, they are not innocent. They know a lot more about us. So it's better that we come out from that cocoon and actually embrace it. That's why you find that in most of these families, it's very difficult even to discuss the issues to do with reproductive health. Our children fear us because they know they can't even ask us questions, and because they don't ask us questions, we feel that our children are innocent. That then make them innocent. When they come to our facilities, the question that they ask, that's where we can tell to say, actually, my child is not innocent. They know a lot. So please, we are not here to destroy our children. We are here actually to protect these children from getting unwanted pregnancies, which can actually lead them to dying, because when they get pregnant, they'll go and do unsafe abortions, and if we prevent them from accessing these condoms, they'll end up having unsafe sex. So why not just give them so that we protect them? Yeah.
Okay. We'll get, I think, 2 more calls before we end the program. The number is 0761 541414. Just 2 more calls, and we put a close to this. Is part 1 of this program. Okay, we'll have part 2 again next week on the same topic. Okay, we have a caller. Hello.
Hello,
good morning, and where you calling from?
This is Patience calling from Shamboli.
Patience, go ahead.
Yes. So I wanted to contribute on what the first caller said.
Okay.
Like he said, you're contributing to the high levels of HIV and AIDS. But the fact that you're doing this program on radio where everyone is able to get this program, even if you are not talking about the young ones, you are not including the young ones, still there will be those young ones who always be curious to try and do this is.
Okay.
Yes. So I think there's even if you didn't talk about it, the fact that it's on radio where everyone will get it, people will always be curious, the young ones will always be curious, and they'll try to do those stuff.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Patience. All right, 0761 541414. Your question or contribution to the program is very, very, very acceptable. Okay. There's a text message saying, very true, children's no more than a parent. I disagree to the man who said health workers are contributing. Okay, no name on that message, but number 74.
Maybe to address the issue.
Sorry, we have a caller. Sorry. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Washimalan.
Washimalan Moisen.
I am calling.
Go ahead.
Hello, Vanasing Valeranda, one to Valajipisha Murakano. Namwasa kumwaisen clinic. Every check, morning.
Okay.
Valajipisha. Mataka want to Valerando Kana Murakana, Murefa Shafirias.
Washimapalo. Washmalan. Wachilanda, Tingamwasanga Valeripirisha. Mwachita report. Mwaonfa.
Oh, the stuff at the report, can you remember the problem with
oh, okay. Okay. All right. I think you did say that report to the sister in charge.
Yes.
Okay, what if the sister in charge Tabareshta Act? I think that's what Washimapalo is touching on. What happens in that situation?
We don't know exactly whether the in charge hasn't taken action, but complaints are supposed to be addressed through the office of the in charge.
Okay.
Chakwati mlechita complain fye mweka fye mumushi maybe na kumedia tafirefika kwa office kuli ba in charge. Action won't be taken. So mnyamwinenga fye achitika mwachita report kuli ba assistant in charge. Lelonga mwamuna tu assistant in charge tabarechita report na bena mwafika kuma offices yesu ku district health office mwachita report ati kwena tu adifisha report kuli ba in charge tapado fa balechita ifoba na mayo besu bachira moku balipirisha nuko batikatwale ni jiki panopo tulita tulepokolola na ngumu achitare lipirisha.
Okay.
Yes, tatulipokolola po na ngumu tuendefa tifya is if on such report kuli ba in charge.
All right.
Inquire.
Hello.
Once again.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, after second question, which I said, is BTL permanent for women? Yeah, they didn't answer.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
BTL mkwai ni permanent method. Lelo machisala nokoba tibamo kuti baimita. Yes, like we were talking about side effects of long-term acting methods. Kutiko wako maybe ama instances yako but maybe umuntu wabaka kile tube. Baitana kati. Mwasa mnako fe ati aimita, but there are very few cases. Otherwise, the BTL is a permanent method. And to every procedure, kula bako ama effects, just like we mentioned in the beginning. So maybe 1 in 1,000 kuti achita akwatefu moimkwa, but it's a permanent method. Oh, muntu teta akwatefu.
Hello.
Okay, we have Batch Precious on the line. Good morning.
Thank you, my brother. Morning.
Go ahead, please.
Na poshana badi andikufia vumi. Na totera. Batch Precious kusakire.
Our last caller, Batch Precious.
Thank you very much. Na chafu ofyo kushana short family planning but ni free. Number nishi kubera ukulipira vyo muntu alefo kufumia ilyanga ninyereti nangu uku. Nishi bakubera ukulipirisha. Apo muwapona lishaya because ilingi kubati ngabaya bala babika free. Then ngabalefu ayo kubati bayi bafumia ilya tulefo okufyala. Bala batiyo lete ni impia tupaka tunifumi. Nishi yaberekyo. Then ku clinic because if yakuwe bati umuntu alipa bukuru ruya mukupapa na kifyashi. Nishi kubela okushita amagavu mula kwa ati amagavu mufule mwaleta. Then not jish mufwe mwaleta, then na jiki mufwe mwaleta. Then inabali mpere bali nje epo kwenye atikashite na kareza. Then na cotton bali kiwafu sana lishitile poine. Pandeke clinic bali ndombele poeso na totera.
Thank you. Okay, Batch Precious there. That's I think that's the big issue on the ground.
Yeah.
How is that going to be addressed?
This is not the first time that we're receiving these complaints. I think these complaints, they've been there. Yes, just like I mentioned to say, we are not defending anyone here. These things are happening. So they need to be addressed as soon as possible. You say that vale samku vikisha majadeo tawabali pirisha. So muntu. Okay. We may have a few culprits that are doing that, yes. So people will take it that valali pirisha fafini, yes. So just like I mentioned, please come through the offices of the in-charges, make them know that these things are happening so that she takes action.
Okay. Let's conclude the program. We'll have the next episode next week. Your words again to those that are doubting contraceptives and just feel I'm a myth, I'm a misconceptions, and so on. I can't do this.
Yeah. So my last words would be actually to encourage the men, the adolescents, and also women and couples at large to say let's all take part in the family planning issues, because we leave it to a woman alone. The burden is on the woman. So even men who've heard that there are methods which men can practice. They can go for vasectomy. They can use condoms. So let's help one another. Let's all participate. It's not just for women alone, but it's for everyone. Thank you.
Okay. Madam Caro?
Yes, we'd like to urge everyone out there, the men folk, the women folk, to access our services. They get the information so that we reduce on the myths and misconceptions. Yes, thank you.
All right. We'll be back again next week. That's on Thursday at 10 hours. Remember, this program is live on YA FM and Flavor FM as well every Thursday at 10 hours. Brought to you by Population Media Center. In Sakayabumi, my name is Timothy Kundoti. Until next week, good morning.
Utikeni kunsaka ya bumi nga mulefu okusambira po ifingi pa bumi. Pepeke n'amatwi ku kirimba pakusambira pakashishi ka HIV, SGBV, obumi bw'abaana kifyashi, eriyo na pali family planning nangula enshira shalekana ishakubomvya pakutalukanya abaana. Nonkele nimo mutusela twakumisansamusha n'okusambirisha. Kabiri sendeni molubali okupitira mukutumina kumulabasa n'okwipusha inchenshi amepusho ya kumino umulandu ulelandwapo. Mwebe na ndola. Kutikeni kuchimwemwe radio ero na Rooster FM liyonse pali chitatu neshita ya 10 hours ukutendeka pa 17th January 2024. Kukitwe kutikeni kuya elio na Flavor FM liyonse pali chine neshita ya 10 hours ukutendeka pa 18th January 2024. Kumpongwe kutikeni Kumpongwe FM liyonse pali chitatu neshita ya 10:30 hours ukutendeka pa 17th January 2024. Kumufulila nangule ntile mwebe na Mafken kutikeni ku Mafken FM liyonse pa chibelushi neshita ya 15 hours ukutendeka pa 13th January 2024. Kuchingola kutikeni ku iWave elio na Kokoliko FM liyonse pali chine neshita ya 09 hours ukutendeka pa 18th January 2024. VSGBV no mufyashi inonisa kayagumi inazambilishe fingi pamikalile yenu elio na pabuni ubusuma.
Insaka ya bumi obumi busuma n'emikalile isuma. Imbila abamileterako kabungwe ka Population Media Center Zambia okubombera pamona abachipani cha bumi.
Coming to you live from the hub of the Copperbelt.